Hi guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. I'm going to be doing another video using some fun Spellbinders products, and basically what I'm doing at this point is I'm using the new embossing folder of the month and adding a little extra with some heat embossing to that. So about a week or so ago, I was playing with the Radiant Burst embossing folder. Actually, I played with it a little more than I should have. I didn't realize it was the April embossing folder of the month, so I actually played with it a little bit about a month or so ago. And I covered the panel. I actually had made I used the embossing folder and did a partial embossing folder technique that I have never seen before, but I thought I'd give it a try, to just emboss the front of a card panel. And you can kind of see that up in the upper right hand corner. And then I went crazy with some lunar paste. Now this is such a pretty card that I just had to go ahead and use it, and I'm not really feeling all that well, so I didn't want to go through the trouble of redoing it and waiting for it to dry and all of that stuff before creating this card for you guys today. However, if that is something you're interested in seeing how I did, be sure to leave a comment down below and I will go through all of that, because I'm sure I will want to make some more of these. It turns out so pretty. Now the stamp set that I'm using is the Open Road Sentiments from Spellbinders. It goes along perfect with the Open Road collection. That's that cute little car and the balloons and all of that. But what I'm going to use it for is just for one of the sentiments. There are a bunch of letters, and those letters can spell out lots of different things, including thanks or thank you. I'm going to spell out the word thanks, and then there's another sentiment that says for everything, and I'm going to just go ahead and stamp those out. I'm lining it up on one of my Creative Corners rulers that I got I don't know how long ago, that goes along with the Misty, and it helps you to be able to line everything up just perfect. And then I'm going to do a little bit of heat embossing. The embossing powder that I'm trying out is called Copper Tinsel. It's from Ranger, and I got this as a happy accident. I had actually ordered something else, and this is what came in the mail, and when I reported that I got the wrong thing, they just gave me a refund because they were out of the other and let me keep this one. So I am trying this out for the first time. Now I am noticing that my stamping was not as good as I'd like. Sometimes with embossing ink, doesn't always cover as well as I want it to do, but I'm going ahead and heating up what I've got on there so far, and I'm going to re-stamp it. Now when you look at this, I also noticed that the color on my camera wasn't quite good enough. I am going to fix that later, so you'll be able to see how pretty this embossing powder turns out. That second layer of embossing just made that copper color just pop. It looks like pennies. I love it. So now I'm going to go ahead and just cut out those sentiments for the thanks, because all of the letters are pretty much blocks. I'm able to just use my paper trimmer to cut those out, and then I'm going to fussy cut around the scripty one just to give it a little bit of interest with those curved lines. Next, I'm going to just see how I like it on this card base. Now this was a card base that I did the embossing on, and I decided, I think I want to have this just a little bit smaller and have a little bit of that white edge. So I'm cutting my panel. I'm cutting off the other side, the second side of the card base, and then I'm going to trim everything down. Not getting rid of the sun portion, of course, but I am going to trim this down to about 3 3/4 by 5. That'll give a 1/4 inch of white space all the way around my panel, like I like to do on so many of my cards. Next, I'm going to adhere it onto a new card base, and to do that I'm grabbing out some more of those scraps of foam that I've been trying to use up out of my stash, and I know colors don't really match anything, but if you have it a little bit away from the edge, that is perfectly fine. Nobody is going to notice. So I'm just adhering those down onto this card panel with some art glitter glue, and one of the panels was actually has adhesive on the back, so I'll go ahead and use that one too. Get a little bit more out of my stash, right? And then I'll use some art glitter glue to glue it down to that new card base. One other thing that trimming that card base down into a panel allows me to do is to switch the direction of the rays, and I think I really like this better. I like the rays coming up from the bottom better than from the top. To me, it looks more like a sunrise or sunset with you being able to see the sun right at that horizon line. So to adhere these down, because those edges are raised, it is kind of a glossy surface with the lunar paste. I am using some double-sided adhesive tape from Spellbinders to adhere all of that down. Just want to make sure that they don't pop off. And I'm not 100% sure how well art glitter glue will adhere to this. That'll be a test for another time. But this seems to be holding it really, really well. I like that. As a finishing touch, I'm going to use some of those heart sequins that I've had in my stash forever. I know, like I really needed any more shine on this card. It's nothing but shine. I do think that the heart shapes do give it just a little bit extra, and I think that is a perfect way to finish up this card. You guys know that I absolutely love all those Spellbinders products, so be sure to check out this playlist to see some more creations using some fun Spellbinders things. You guys have a wonderful day, and remember, if I can make it, you can too. Have a great day.